Okay, guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. I only hope I saw this article or report earlier. Iniisip ko, naging busy ba ako masyado nung June? Kaya nakalampas ito sa akin, no? I wish mas maaga ko to nakita para mas maaga ko rin po na i-share sa inyo. Alam niyo po ba, yung Government of Canada through Statistics Canada came out with this report. Basically, data tungkol sa profile, updated data tungkol sa profile ng mga Pilipino dito sa Canada. Ang title, ito po, Portrait of the Filipino Populations in Canada, a Socio-Demographic and Socio-Economic Analysis. This was published in June 2026. Ayan, okay. June 8, 2026. Ano po ba ito? Medyo technical, ano? Yung title. But this is the result of StatsCan, yung census po nila, specific sa Filipino-Canadians. So dito po, inanalyze na nila lahat ng nakolekta nilang datos tungkol sa edad, lokasyon, trabaho, edukasyon, at marami pang iba. I highly encourage you guys to go to this report. Search nyo na lang po yung title na yan at lalabas po yan for sure. Yun nga lang, I will tell you, this is so long. This is so long. So for our episode, kumuha na lang po ako ng 5. Okay? 5 data, information, which I think yung pinaka-simple, pinaka-basic na dapat nating malaman tungkol sa ating komunidad dito sa Canada and how things or how our profile has changed over the years. Okay? Pero kung tutuusin sa haba po nito, sa totoo lang, ang dami nating pwedeng matutunan. Puntahan nyo na lang po. There might be some information that might be of more interest to some of you. Okay? So ano po ang batayan ng data na ito? Okay, nandito po yan sa executive summary. Let me just read this to you before I proceed to the 5 takeaways. Resulta po ito ng census ng 2021. I know, medyo 5 years ago na matagal na rin. But ito na po talaga yung latest data po kasi from StatsCan. The census is done every 5 years. So meron po ngayon, 2026. At intindihin na lang po natin, syempre sa lahat po ng kinukuha ng StatsCan na datos, I won't be surprised na talaga matagal din po talaga yung pagproseso ng datos na yan. Kaya imagine, after conducting the census in 2021, dito lang po nila ito nilabas. Alright, so, over 957,000 individuals in Canada reported being Filipino in the 2021 census. A 4-fold increase since 1996. Nakikita nyo, palaki na ng palaki ang ating community dito. Filipinos represented 2.6% of the total population in Canada and 9.9% of the racialized population, making them the 4th largest racialized group in 2021. Ano po ba ibig sabihin ng racialized group? Kumbaga, ito yung mga visible minorities. Yung mga different categories based on race and ethnicity. Alright? O sige ngayon, puntahan na natin yung aking 5 biggest takeaway. Una, this tells us about how our pathway has changed over the decades. So the Filipino immigration has become more economic. Okay, titingnan niyo yung nasa bandang kaliwa. Noong 1980s to 1990, 51.1% ay pumapasok po ng Canada through economic pathways. And then almost half, 48.5% came through family sponsorship. Kasi diba a long time ago, yung sponsorship, pwede po yun umaabot hanggang sa mga pamangkin mo, pwede mo sponsor, hindi po tulad ngayon hanggang immediate family na lang. So 1980 to 1990s, 48.5% came through family sponsorship. Bit-bit po sila, nung mga nauna nilang kamag-anak na dumating dito. Pagdating po ng 2011 to 2021, nakita niyo yung shift, 82.3% ang dumating po through economic pathways. Okay, bumaba na po yung porsyento ng dumating via family sponsorship to 17.3%. Ano po yung economic pathways na pinaka nagamit ng mga Pilipino in recent years? Yung caregiver pathway and yung mga provincial nomination programs. Ayan. Okay, now let's proceed to the second one. Hindi ko masulat yung title, guys. Hindi ko to ma-up, guys, kasi matatakpan po ng graphics. Ano? Sige, tatanggalin ko na lang po yan. Email ko na lang po yung iwan ko dyan. Okay, number 2. Yan. The Filipino population has nearly quadrupled. Understandably, no? I guess nobody will be surprised by this because alam naman natin, parami talaga ng parami ang mga Pilipinong nag-explore abroad ng opportunities abroad. O, isa na po yan talaga ang pupuntahan nila, ang Canada. So from 1996, nag-umpisa po tayo sa 234,000, tumaas ng 957,000 nitong 2021, almost 1 million. And if the inflow of Filipinos continue at this pace, it is projected, guys, na by 2041, maaring umabot na tayo as many as 2.4 million. So ang projection po by 2041, 1.7 million to 2.4 million. So right now, no, tulad nung nabanggit dun sa intro kanina, we are now the 4th largest racialized group in Canada, forming 2.6% of Canada's total population. Pangatlo, eto na. O, tungkol naman ito sa level ng edukasyon at kung ano ang ginagawa natin dito with those educational credentials. Ito sana ma-improve, ano? Almost half of Filipino degree holders are overqualified. Ano po ibig sabihin ng overqualified? Magaganda yung mga background pinag-aralan po sa Pilipinas, pero pagdating po dito sa Canada, hindi nila nagagamit yun. So they end up in jobs where they are overqualified for. Right? We all know this story, okay? O yan. So, 49.5% of Filipino degree holders aged 25 to 54 are overqualified. Okay, so nakapakataas, ano? 50%, halos 50%. 1 in 2 sa mga kababayan po natin na nagtatrabaho po dito sa Canada ay overqualified para sa kanilang ginagawa. Yung data naman po na nasa kanan, yung 11.9%, yan yung rate for non-racialized and non-indigenous population. Usually, dyan po talaga kino-compare yan. Ano? Just so we know how racialized groups are doing when it comes to employment, income, education, mga ganyang issue po. Sana over time, ano, bumaba yung number na yan. Para ibig sabihin, lalo na para sa mga kababayan nating lumilipat dito na magaganda po yung mga trabaho. Kapag bumaba po yung number na yan, ibig sabihin they are able to work in the same line of work that they did back home. Magagamit po talaga nila yung pinag-aralan nila at yung work experience talaga nila. Na kung iisipin ninyo, 'di ba? Kinuha naman po ng Canada yung mga high-skilled professionals na ito para sa mga experience at education na 'yan. Kaya sana magawa ng paraan, ano, sana maayos yung gap na 'yan, right? Okay. Puntahan po natin yung pang-apat. Ito naman po. Yan. Filipino women have been central to Canada's care economy. Kahit na po nakikita natin, no, nakakakilala tayo ng mas maraming mga kababayan na high sa larangan ng tech, IT, engineers, mga STEM workers. Kung ang datos lang po ang pag-uusapan, talagang up to now, yung caregiving profession pa rin. Diyan pa rin po nanggagaling ang malaking bulto ng mga Filipino immigrants in Canada, even in recent years. Alright, so 42.9% of the Filipino economic immigrants from 1980 to 2021 came through the caregiver category. Imagine, it's 33 times higher. Okay, yung admission rate for caregivers, kung ikukumpara po sa ibang economic immigrant populations. At sa mga kababaihang Pilipino po, aged 25 to 54, 28% are working in health occupations. But of course, I guess we should point out na kahit ito po ang naging entry ng marami nating kababayan, while many remain in that profession, marami na rin po ang nag-branch out into doing other jobs, right? Okay, we're only talking about yung naging pathway po dito. Alright, and last but not the least, ito, I found this very interesting. Alam niyo po ba that Filipinos are a major part of rural Canada and the territories? Kumbaga kung ikukumpara po sa ibang racialized groups, mas prominent yung presence natin in rural towns and in the Northwest Territories. Imagine. Masusurpresa pa ba kayo dyan? Tayong mga Pinoy, ano, basta kung saan may opportunity, pupuntahan natin yan. Kahit nasaan pa yan, kahit gaano kalayo, kahit gaano kalamig. O, di ba? Alright. So, according to the StatsCan data, 44,530 Filipinos live in rural Canada. Again ha, as of 2021 po ito, I won't be surprised if this number is already bigger with all the talks of lipat probinsya, no? Yung mga ganyan. Okay. So, noong 2021 pa lang, no? More than 44,000 ang nasa rural Canada. 4.7% na po yun ng Filipino population in Canada. And we make up the second highest rural share among racialized groups. O, di ba? Pangalawa tayo sa may pinakamaraming populasyon sa mga rural towns. Ito yung mga notable cities kung nasan maraming mga Pilipino. Ito, Nipawa, sa Manitoba, noong 2021, 46.8% ang share ng populasyon daw po dyan. Totoo ba? Parang napakalaki, ano? Para sa mga nagugulat, ano? Baka sabihin nyo, mali yung graphics natin kasi parang ang laki, no? Ito po yan. This is from the report itself. Hindi na po ito yung graphics, ha? Among rural census subdivisions, Nipawa. Nipawa. Okay? Sorry guys kung mali ang pag-pronounce ko. Nipawa, Manitoba had the highest share of Filipinos. In 2021, nearly half of Nipawa's total population was Filipino. Wow! Okay, balik na tayo dun sa ating graphic. Ayan. So, una, no, 46. So, yung Nipawa. Saan pa marami mga Pilipino? In Brooks, Alberta, 13.4% of the population there, mga Pilipino. High River in Alberta, 10.5%. And Yellowknife. Sa Yellowknife naman, Northwest Territory, 6.9%. Additional info po doon sa baba. Provincial nomination programs help bring Filipino workers to communities outside Canada's major cities. And 37.1% of Filipino economic immigrants from 2011 to 2021 were provincial nominees. Yeah. So what does this tell us? Bakit relevant itong information na to? I think, no, it tells us na nag-shift away na tayo sa mga malalaking towns. Noon, no, pag sinasabi mong Canada, madalas yan napupunta yung mga Pilipino sa bigger, more populated cities of Toronto and Vancouver. Ngayon, clearly, there is a shift in our location kung saan po tayo nagsesettle. Alright, so what do you guys think? Papasok ko na to. Ngayong patapos na, tsaka ko lang lalagay itong headline na ito. What do you guys think about this data? Again, puntahan niyo po mismo yung report na yan. Ang daming niyong matututunan. Yung mga basics lang po, no, yung tinakal natin for this episode. I will end this here. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!